Welcome, my peeps, my peoples. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. It's Mary Jane. Let's talk about Growing Up Hip Hop Season 2, Episode 20. Like, OMG, Little Mama, working with the Wells or the Walls. That, gospel group was actually wonderful. That's the first time on reality TV show that I actually heard music that hasn't been released yet sound absolutely magnificent, sound wonderful, sound good. Like, you got my vote on that. I was like, whoa. And then we got Bow Wow still going wild outside. Bow Wow's like 31 or 30 something years old, and he said on this show he only went to counseling once, and that was with Kiyomi. Why hasn't Bow Wow been in counseling since he was 15? His mom said, Bow Wow started to turn dark and going through issues when he was 15. How come he didn't seek no help? How come there was no counseling, no child psychology, something for him, somebody that was spiritual, somebody that wasn't in the music business, somebody other than Snoop Dogg or all the other people that he looked up to, someone that didn't need him or gain something from him or made some money with him, somebody that he needed, somebody outside of the industry to actually help him and mold him. And his mother failed him, because when she said he was 15, he didn't get no counseling. He's 15 and now he's 31 years old or 30 something years old or 30, and he still hasn't seeked no help. He's still in a childlike mind, a childlike situation where he can't even be in a serious monogamous relationship and actually be the protector, be the man in the relationship, because he still sees himself as a child, and everybody around him still see him as a child and a gold ticket, a meal ticket, make some money off of him. His mother totally fucked up with him. She totally dropped the ball, just like his drunken father totally dropped the ball too, being locked up and everything, and having the street raised and the industry raised him. And it's just like his money should have been protected, his career should have been protected, his mind should have been protected. Him going through, him being a child star and actually being in films and movies and music videos, and parading around the world, doing tour across the world. There should have been some type of guidance with him outside of the industry and his parents, where he should have been getting help, because that's a lot of traumatic shit that he had to go through too as well. Then on top of that, being the breadwinner for his family, like his mother eating off of him, and basically, she don't need to get a job because her son is her job right now, but she didn't do her job right because she didn't protect his money and she didn't protect his mind. He should have been getting help. He should have been getting psychiatric help. He should have been seeing a counselor, especially when he was 15 and he tried to commit suicide too as well. His mom said to Deb, oh yeah, he was, he has a dark side, and she was like, she didn't get him no help. He hasn't even seeked any help. And that's the sad thing, that we as people, we in our community, our African American males and our black men, they need to get help. They don't seek help from doctors because, sometimes doctors are the enemy and sometimes doctors are not good. But having a spiritual advisor, having somebody that have a reputation, someone that is prestige in the neighborhood, somebody that's prestige in the community, someone that has a good reputation, someone that is knowledgeable, is where your child need to be around and get some help too as well. And then if they have a degree to go along with it too, that's good. Or getting somebody to, actually a psychiatrist that actually understand, what black males go through and what it is to be a black man in a society. And, I just think that our people need to get help sometimes. Psychiatric help too as well. And then now we know why Bow uses drugs. He's been, since 15 years old, he was out here, he was having mental issues, mental problems, and nobody cared because all they seen was a check from Bow Wow to keep performing, keep making music, keep paying the bills, keep this, keep that, keep doing that, instead of looking at his mental psychiatry, instead of looking at what was going on in him mentally. That's why he's not able to prosper in a relationship. And the last real relationship he had was Ciara, and now with Kiyomi, and he couldn't even be the man in the relationship and be the protector and actually, comfort her and actually make her feel secure and actually take the reign and be in control of the relationship, because he don't even know how to do that because he ain't never seen it been done too as well. And then on top, and we can't say he got it from Snoop, because Snoop was cheating on his wife the whole time he's been with her, so let's not go there. And JD hasn't been married since God knows when. And his mother, I don't know her situation is, she was just looking at her son as a meal ticket. That's my opinion. That's what I think about it, because it seemed like she really don't care. She was like, oh, when I saw Bow Wow act up, I ran home and got my Bibles. What your Bibles gonna do? Your Bibles ain't gonna help your son right now. You need to be out there in the street with your son and finding out why he's upset, why is he mad. Hug him, kiss him, tell him that you love him, tell him that you're here for him, tell him that you're sorry, that you was a sorry excuse for a parent, and then his father was a sorry excuse for a father too as well. That's what you should have been. How you never seen your son act up? Your son was in the closet 15 trying to commit suicide, so you don't know what's going on with your son. You never seen him act up. He was like, oh, I can't control him, I couldn't do anything with him. Like, come on, miss me with that bullshit. There's people that have bad reputation, killers, murderers, all types of things, and just kind of like insane. And if somebody that they know, that they respect, that love them, know that they really got their back, they can talk them off of a ledge. They can talk them out of it. Somebody that understands. You didn't even understand your son enough to go and seek help. You went home and got the Bibles because you know what you was thinking about? Oh my God, we can't mess up. This is his last chance. We're on this TV show. I hope we don't lose our money. I hope they don't fire us. This house is the only thing we got to show for it. Like, come on, miss me with that bullshit. Bow Wow was, sad to say, his childhood was messed up. He had nothing but wolves around him. Wolves raised him too as well. And it made him like a sheep. It made him like a sheep where he can't even see that, he's doing wrong in a relationship, that he don't understand that he can be the man in a relationship. He don't even understand his feelings of love, because to me, I believe Bow Wow loves Kiyomi. He wanted to be with her, but he didn't even know how to handle it because them emotions were new and different to him. And then the people around him is like, oh no, leave her alone. She's no good. Blase and a third. She's got, because they didn't want her to actually put the realness in his head and tell him like, yo, you got a bunch of snakes around you, people that really don't care for you, that are acting like they care for you too as well, and you need to you like change. Like you're a man in a relationship. You can't be out here partying with all types of single men. Your life has to change too as well. But he didn't want his lifestyle to change. He wanted to still be the same Bow and a relationship with a woman that, and Kiyomi was supposed to take that. And just like damn, his mother, the Brat, Jermaine not really, and throwing like Kiyomi's the bad person. Kiyomi was good for him. Kiyomi went through a hustle. She went through a struggle where she supported and she took care of her family just like Bow Wow did. And Kiyomi could have left and ran and left her family behind and took care of herself and had more ducats, but she stayed loyal to her family, so she was going to stay loyal to Bow. And that's what they had in common, having people they had to support at a young age and grow up and be more of an adult than a kid. And then at the same time, now they live in their second childhood. And especially for Bow Wow, in my opinion, when the mom said that I never seen him like that, oh my God, I was shocked. Like, you never seen your son go off. That means like you don't really have a relationship if you never seen him go off, never him being upset or not being able to calm him down and control him when he's having an outbreak, when he's flipping, when he's losing his shit. You, as a parent, you're supposed to know how to deal with that shit, because that's your flesh and blood. That's somebody that you raised all their life, and you don't know how to deal with them. You never seen them act like that. Come on, that means that means your child didn't trust you to show you all their sides around, everything about them. A whole 180 and a whole 360. You haven't seen it all. Or you was close to her. You kept your mouth closed and you closed your eyes and was blind to the situation because you wanted to focus on him making music, him out here making money to pay the bills so you can live a lavish lifestyle and ride around Atlanta in your fancy cars and brag about your son when he really crying out for help and been crying out for help since he was 15, and he ain't never got no help from all the people that's around him. Miss me with that bullshit. And them just trying to, and Bow Wow going around blaming Kiyomi for his misfortune, for him acting up at the party. Like, yeah. And then Bow Wow was being shady too as well. When he was talking to his mom, I only had 2 drinks, when he was talking to the Brat, I was on that Henny. Jermaine, I was on that Henny. Anybody else, I was on that Henny. But yeah, he would say he only had 2 drinks. So, he's lying too as well. So that means he was fucked up. Bow Wow had more than 2 drinks, and he was probably on something else other than weed. He probably was on that lean because he was addicted to lean, allegedly, and hard drugs, allegedly. So therefore, I think he needed a scapegoat, and the scapegoat to save face with the producers, to save face with the network, to save face with the people around his circle. Let's just throw the blame on Kiyomi. It's Kiyomi fault. Kiyomi did this. Kiyomi did that. When he didn't want to admit that he actually has a drug problem, allegedly a drug problem. He was probably flipping out because he was higher than high, and he ended up just flipping out, assaulting a cameraman because Brat said he did the karate chops on one of the cameramen, and then he was breaking merchandise too as well. And that seemed like, that's kind of like a dangerous situation to deal with somebody that have that type of outburst and stuff like that. So the best thing to do, let's just blame Kiyomi. And the mom is so happy. Let's get her out of his life. You just mad because she really loves him and she really wanted to support him, and he really cared for her. He cares for her in a way that he couldn't even control himself or be the normal Bow that everybody want him to be, because he didn't have the support of the people saying, you need to change, Bow. You need to be committed in this relationship. the older folks, because Bow Wow's still mentally at a very young, he's mentally probably like 17 or 18, even though he makes money, even though he can remember all his lines and movies and stuff like that, because he was taught that was bred into him. But it wasn't bred into him to love. It wasn't bred into him to have a commitment, to have a loving, lasting relationship with someone that actually mean you good. And he probably don't even know what it is to feel like to have somebody that actually loves him for him and want to be there to protect him and be his soulmate, because he ain't never really been loved. It seems like everybody focused on him making money, because if he was at 15 years old trying to commit suicide and stab himself or whatever he tried to do, and he ain't get no help since then, since he going to counseling with Kiyomi, that's a big step for him to be in a relationship with a woman and she actually convinced him to go to counseling, and his mother, his father, all these people around him never convinced him to go to counseling. Come on, that means she was going to really help Bow Wow see the light. And sometimes it takes people to see you the light, but nobody wanted her to see the light. Even when Soulja Boy said that Bow Wow should stay with Kiyomi, now that's some real shit. It might have been for TV, but for Soulja Boy to say you need to stay with her, that's some real shit, because you know how Soulja Boy gets down. And much love to Soulja Boy. He started all this going viral. He started all this clout chasing because he used to do the videos, his chain getting snatched, doing the videos with the mask on, doing a video with his rivals and beefing and getting clicks and views and actually making money off of streams, making money on the internet. He started this shit. And kudos to you, Soulja Boy, even though you be out here wilding. So I was just like, it just pissed me off so much. But I also got to give props to Deb for actually, owning up and admitting that, she was talking to Bow Wow's mother, that I wasn't there for my son. I should have been there for him. He was crying out for help. He was crying out so many times and I ignored him. I felt like other people's children was important. I felt like she didn't say making this check, but dealing with all these other people like Nicki Minaj, like, what's his name? And all the other people that she worked with, in the business. And she felt like being with them more and being around them was more important. She felt like she took her son for, she took him being there as like, oh, he's always going to be there, and putting him on the back burner, putting other people's children before hers. And she wished that she can take back the hand of time where she can go back and be there and dedicate that time to her, because now she realized all these other people's children that she was there for were ungrateful motherfuckers and turned around and did her wrong in the end and made money and didn't even send her a dime or a penny or even give her props or even said that she had anything to do with their career. So now, I give her props for owning up to that and admitting to that and on national TV and actually telling Bow Wow mother, don't wait till it's too late, because I wish I could talk to him. She was like, my son used to plan his funeral and told me to change my insurance policy, whatever. And I'd be like, oh, he's just kidding. So, Deb is dealing with a lot of hurt. And I don't know. I don't even think Bow Wow mother would be, if something happens to Bow Wow, I don't think she would take any blame for whatever happened to him. She'll blame him. She'll blame the industry. She'll blame his father. She'll blame everybody else except for herself, because she doesn't seem like the type of person that will own up to anything. For her to say that Kiyomi was the problem, bitch, you the problem. And I hate to call you that, because you are low down. You're one of them mothers that eat off their child and think that it's all good. You don't want nobody else into their life. You don't want them to do anything else, but make sure they make that money, bring that paycheck in so you can get your half and so they can pay the bills, and you live off of him like She made me sick. Talking about she went home and put 7 Bibles. Bitch, I bet you didn't even got 1 Bible. The way, if you were so much into God like that, you would have protected your son a long time ago. Miss me with that. Stop throwing Jesus into your misparenting and your misguiding. And, let me keep going, because I'm pissed. Like, I was really pissed. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm looking at this in the wrong light. If I am, please let me know in the comments below. So we got that situation. Let me just get off of that. So now we're still at the party. Bow Wow's flipping. He's going off. The Brat's trying to control him, trying to hold him down, but he ain't trying to hear it. He's on Pyru because he's under some type of substance. It's not just Hennessy. Come on, miss me with that. We already know. So allegedly. So, basically, the Brat, she's upset. She's mad. She's so upset with Bow and all this other stuff. She don't want to talk to him. She's doing the same thing that Deb does with Johnny. But yet, it's okay for her to do it with Bow. She's going back and forth, because she eats too. too with Bao. They go on tour, she eats too as well. Being on the show with Bao, she eats too as well. So everybody is eating off of Bao, still eating off of Bao. And maybe Kiyomi was eating off of him, but she was actually trying to put in work. She was actually trying to do something with him. She was actually trying to build something with him with that song. And he didn't want her to even release the song without him. He didn't want her to work with other people. And she was trying to get her foot in the door, even though she loved him too as well, but she was trying to contribute to making his life better too as well. She didn't want him all strung out on drugs, partying to 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning. He's 30 something years old now. He done did that his whole fucking life. It's time for a goddamn change. And she was trying to bring that change. And she was up against opposition, straight up. Opposition, straight up. So anyways, moving on from that. So, you know, the Brat, she's upset. She ends up talking to Jermaine. Jermaine was so funny. He was like, you should have left Bow Wow outside to get arrested. I was like, she said, you should have let the cops get him. She was like, Brat was like, the cops came. They called the cops. You know, Bow Wow was out here wilding. I had to dip because, you know, I just got off of probation. I can't be up in no shit like this. So that conversation funny because Jermaine didn't give a fuck. Jermaine was like, he needs some consequences. He should have. And then every time Jermaine wants to go heavy on him, the Brat ends up, you know, defending Bao. Or, you know, Jermaine probably feels sorry for him because he just didn't have the right. He didn't have the. I don't know if Jermaine. People say Jermaine, you know, is a pedophile. I don't know if that's true. I haven't looked into it yet or anything like that. But that's the word on the street. I don't know. I don't know if I believe that, but you never know. But, and also, let's talk about Jermaine Dupri's daughter. What's her name? Ayana. Ayana, what happened to your fashion clothes? What happened to you doing something? What happened to you, you know, putting shit together? You just wanted your father to do everything for you. Just hand it out to you. He wanted you to put in some work. He wanted you to do something. He just didn't want to give you the red carpet and hand everything out to you. And then on top of that, Ayana, she done got on here with her mother talking about he's just about self. He was going to help you, girl. He just wanted you to put in a little bit of effort so he can believe that you were serious before he introduced you to the people in the fashion world. And she ain't did shit. She ain't did nothing. She ain't came up with even a collage and shit. She didn't even gave us pictures. She ain't gave us no sketches. She ain't gave us nothing. She just gave up on it. Well, if my father ain't gonna do all the work, then I ain't gonna do it. That means he ain't a good father. That means he's all about himself. You didn't put in the work. So anyways, let's move on from that situation. So we have that, and the Brat was like, the police came, I was gone. And so I don't know, I just think that Bow Wow had an episode and they tried to blame Kiyomi for that episode because she was cool. He was going to go say bye, and all of a sudden it cut to the film where she bounced. I don't know if producers told her that Bow don't want you around or whatever. Maybe she was seeing something that we didn't see. Maybe he done got something from one table to this table. Something went around, something happened, and maybe that's why she left, or she started to see him get out of control or whatever. Everyone was like, oh, he was so normal. He had 2 drinks. He already said to Jermaine and the Brat that he was on that Henny. Like, he was messed up to his mom. I only had 2 drinks. So, yes, he's dishonest to his mom, too, as well. But his mom got 2 eyes. She could see what the hell her son's doing at the damn party. She should know when he's elevated, when he's drunk, when he's intoxicated, or when he's about to get there. You, his mom, you've been around him. You live together in Atlanta. What's good? Now you act like you don't know he got a bad side. He got a bad streak. Like, piss me. So we have that situation. So it is what it is with that. And so basically the Brat thinks he should have accountability. Maybe he should have got locked up. Kiyomi can't get him out of jail. If he got locked, let me tell you, if Kiyomi needed to get Bow Wow out of jail, let me tell you, she'll get him out of jail. She'll go right to that house, pawn some shit, pawn the shit that she got. She'll get the money to get her man out of jail because she's that type of female. If she was able to raise her family as a child, she would come up with that money to get him out of jail. Word life. And his mama would, and then, you know, the Brat was like, oh, his mama would get him out. Most likely Jermaine would get him out of jail. It wouldn't be his mama because she would probably want to teach him a lesson, or she didn't want to spend no more finance on him, and thinking that maybe somebody else needs to teach. Maybe he'll learn a lesson in jail instead of learning from his mother, instead of learning from his father. And his father needs to kick rocks and don't come back on the show until he get himself right and get in counseling and come after Bow Wow in the correct type of form and be off of alcohol before he entered his life. Because part of the situation with Bow Wow is not having a father to be that. A father should have been there to guide him and protect him. You had a meal ticket. Your wife, your girlfriend, or whoever's your baby mother, she took advantage of that meal ticket, but you could have been there with that meal ticket too as well and protected him and guided him and make sure his interest was protected, where he'll be getting all the money he deserves and owed to him, period. And he won't be out here stressing and always threatening to commit suicide on IG and shit like that. So miss me with that. So So we have that situation. So the brat want him to have accountability or whatever. Just because you've been locked up don't mean he need to be locked up too. He just needs some help. That's all he needs. You went all you threatened somebody's life. You cut somebody up. Miss me with that or whatever you did. And so JD feels like maybe the girl's throwing him off. JD don't know if JD knows that Bow Wow's all messed up. He's spoiled. He's rotten. JD is not really trying to come out there and say it's Kiyomi, because I don't think JD believes it's Kiyomi. He just knows Bow and it's Bow. And everybody's trying to throw it on, oh, she's changing him up or whatever. Probably JD was like, he probably need a good woman. He probably need a strong woman to get him out these clubs and stop doing drugs and partying all night in the morning. Because what's out there? He's already a father. He done already did this. Time to do something new. It's a whole new beginning. And we don't know if we're ever going to see that. So we got Deb and Bow Wow's mother, Teresa, whatever her name, they're talking. And basically, it just seemed like his mother's nonchalant. She don't really care. She just want that, but she just want to make sure the taxes on her house is paid for on them cars. The taxes is paid for on them cars too as well. And she can ride around and she can have them different wigs and get makeup orders and get her nails done. That's what she cares about, in my opinion. So moving on from that situation, like his Bow Wow's like 30 something and he ain't never been to counseling. That is really messed up. So we get Bow, he meets up with his mom and basically tell his mom he only had 2 Hennessy's and he's breaking on her with Kiyomi is over. And she was like, oh well, unfollow her. So he's unfollowing her. The mom don't want him to have a serious relationship, a serious woman. She'd rather him be out here with different women each and every different night. So he doesn't have no connection, he doesn't have no bond, he doesn't have no love with nobody, and he just counts on his mother and the people that are around his circle that or feeding and living off of him too as well, or gaining money off of him. And that way no one can stir him in the right direction. He can just stay under her guidance and think that she's the only person out here that actually loves him, support him, and got his back, because if she did, she wouldn't have let this shit happen to him. And there's no excuse, bitch. You didn't have a job, you wasn't doing nothing, you was managing your son, he was making the money for you, so you should have made sure that he had the right lawyers, he had counselors, he had everything to make sure his money was in place. There should have been all types of bonds, stocks, and things put in place where he couldn't touch the money until he was a certain age, money growing and stuff like that, so he would never have to work again. The real money he made back then, for real. And it's like, that should have been your job. You had nothing else to do but do that, because you wasn't really parenting him, because he wouldn't be trying to kill himself or half of his damn life and always on IG trying to take his life. Like, so you should have been there for him. You should have, you wasn't doing nothing. What was you doing that you couldn't make sure that your son money was protected? Like, what you're talking about, Willis, what happened to him, what happened to the Temptations, what happened to the Dells, what happened to the OJs, what happened to all the people that was out here back in the day making music in the industry and they end up being broke. Like, you knew that. All you should have did research to make sure, how do I invest? How do I keep growing his money so my son doesn't end up broke when he gets into his 30s? And you didn't do that. That was supposed to be your job. Your job was supposed to find out what he needed and what was supposed to be placed in line for him. And then he should have been getting help, because as a minor, you could have forced him, or you could have made sure he got help. You could have had a counselor on the road with y'all. You could have had a therapist on the road with y'all, because Bow Wow was making real money back then. And it should have been people there, spiritual advisors, people that you interviewed, your family interviewed, that you searched and you made sure that, and you used discernment to make sure that they were good for your son and getting your son help, to talk about the stress and the struggles that he go through while being an entertainer and being famous. And then he should be in counseling now too as well, because he's not that bright light like he used to be. So anyways, but you see how Bob was like, oh my God, it was so happy to see all these people here, like 20,000. Man, I never thought I'd be seeing this in Atlanta again or whatever. Like, he missed that too as well. So how to deal with that too as well, as aging and getting older, that he's still not a child. That's why he needs a serious relationship. So moving on from that situation, I'm just like, whatever. And then Bow Wow mother was talking about, I can pick up on energy. You can pick up on the energy that your son was being robbed. He was being manipulated. He was paying for everything out of his pocket. gonna pick up on that energy that you had a bunch of thieves lying to you when you're signing the contracts, because somebody had to be his power attorney, and it had to be you. It wasn't his father, because he was strung out. So therefore, you as Bow Wow's power attorney, you can pick up on the energy that the lawyers and these people that you was signing contracts with and signing your name on the dotted line with your son was bad people. They was robbing you. They was looking to take advantage of you. You couldn't do that research. Like, sometimes you got to take the blame for the shit that you did. And at least Deb owned up to her blame, and Bow needs to take blame for himself too as well, because he can't keep going around in circle. He knows he ain't happy. He knows it's bullshit. He can't keep doing it. So he needs to go seek out help himself too as well. So moving on from that situation, and she was like, I can pick up on good energy, whatever. And so Deb gave, Teresa, Bow Wow's mother, a good warning about, you need to be careful. You need to find out what's going on with your son or whatever, because, I lost and I can't take it back. So we have that situation. Bow Wow talking to his mother, talking about the police call. I had 2 drinks. Nobody can control me. Nobody could calm me down. And Mom's like, I couldn't calm you down. I never seen you like this. Like all that other bullshit. And basically he throws the blame on Kiyomi, saying it's her fault. He needs a woman that he can be in business with. You can be in business with her. You can do all that, but you got to have a certain level of respect. And you know the games. You know the tricks, because you're an older person. You're an older man. So you should be able to comfort and reassure a young woman, a young lady, that, everything is taken care of. You wasn't that type of person, because you never seen that before. No one demonstrated that shit to you. So they just demonstrated you going out here sleeping with this one, that one, going to the strip club, getting high, doing drugs, boom, boom, boom. And then on top of that, like, damn, he wasn't even using protection with Kiyomi. So you should want him with Kiyomi, because, he could come out here and impregnate somebody else or catch a STD or whatever, because he used the pull-out method, which is not good. Please wrap it up. Please wrap it up. And so, and so now he's going to find more women that he's going to have unprotected sex with, because he doesn't like to use condoms. And we heard that in this season. So anyways, moving on from that shit. So we have that story, and it's just like, whatever. I was like, yo, they really pissed me off this episode. And so we have Little Mama working with the group. Basically, she conquered her fears, and she did a wonderful job. And she was around a family group business, a family group of people that's just like with her brothers and sisters and stuff like that. And she was able to sing. She was able to get it done. She was able to get the job done and do magnificent. It was wonderful. I would love to hear that song too as well. And so we have the Brat and the Bow talk. Basically, she doesn't want to hear what Bow Wow has to say. She's tired of his lying, his excuses, the Hennessy, the girl, or whatever. She don't want to hear it. He has to meet up with JD, whatever. Point blank. Excuse me. So it's whatever. Our situation was ever. So JD and Bow Wow talk. Basically, JD doesn't want to hear the excuses of the Hennessy or the girlfriend. He was like, I hear, like, you always got excuses. Always something, man. You need to change. You need to get it together. Like, damn, nobody don't see that this little boy needs help. He's not a little boy, but he acts like a little boy. His mannerisms is like a little boy. He needs help. He needs counseling. To still think, like, stand out to 5 o'clock in the morning, getting drunk, getting high, and having sex with different women that you ain't using protection with. And, blowing all your money like that, messing with your brain cells, messing with your chemical balance, because you're already unbalanced, because that's why you're having these episodes of where you're telling the world that you want to die and shit like that, or you want to commit suicide allegedly. So no one sees that he actually really needs help. That it's always somebody else. It's either the Hennessy, or it's the woman, or Bow Wow's just being lazy. It's not that. It's nothing mentally going on. They're looking past that. So anyways, it is what it is. So we have that situation. Whatever. Then we get Bow Wow and Soulja Boy. They meet up, and it's a good thing to see Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy's skin looks really good. He looks good. He's actually going to be on Marriage Boot Camp. I can't wait to watch that. I'm going to watch that and review it. So anyways, they talk about their music, going on tour with Chris Brown, Blas, and so everything was all good with that. And so he gets on stage. He does a good job. Everybody comes there and support him while he's on stage. And then, the So Def tour, I think it got canceled, but they actually had to do that show. And so basically Bow Wow's telling anybody and everybody that is listening that Kiyomi is toxic. She's the problem. She's the situation. She's the one that had him messed up and going ham like that. It seemed like he just threw her under the bus, and it seems like he told everybody but her. I don't know if she already knew about, their breaking up before he went on camera and told the whole world, but except for her. And that shows how, if he did that shows how very immature that he is. And then his mom's talking about unfollow her for what? Like, what's the big deal about following somebody? You break up with them, whatever. If you don't want nothing to do with them, no matter if you follow them or not, it ain't gonna worry you, because once you're done. And mom was like, unfollow him. You're a grown ass woman telling your son to unfollow somebody. Come on, once you follow your ass into a motherfucking, You need a you need an exorcism because you ain't a good person. You damn sure ain't a good person. You want your son to be stuck just the way he is for the rest of his life, so you can be the one that's rescuing him and tell him he's doing wrong, and you're the only one there for him. Peace with that bullshit. So anyways, he does that. You know, they do the show. They pour champagne out on Jermaine. It looks like Jermaine was drowning. They pour all that champagne on Jermaine. It looks like he couldn't breathe or whatever. So they do the good thing. And then we get Masika. She comes up in this place because Bow Wow called her. And she was like, oh, you got to be tired of them video vixen, them hoes, them thoughts, and the people that want something. You need somebody that's already in the industry. You need somebody that's already, you know, got a career. Somebody that's already official and legit in the industry that don't need your help with it. Ain't you, because everything that you describe yourself, because you are that person. You are the jump off. You are that thought. You the one that had unprotected sex with Fetty Wap the first night that you met him, and he ain't been a father since. I don't even know if he gives you money or whatever, and he ain't been around, and he ain't claimed you. He ain't did none of that shit. He claims the woman that we haven't even seen more than he claims you, or your child, or y'all child. I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? Because they said he didn't do, I don't know if he did a DNA test or not. So, whatever. So, we got Masika buying her mother a car. I hope that car wasn't a rental. I hope it wasn't a leak. I hope the mother don't have to pay the car note, because you're going to tell us that Masika paid cash for that car. She paid cash for that car and gave it to her mama. Okay. That's why Deb was shocked. Like, okay, where you get this car from? You can buy your mother a brand new Benz, but you can't buy yourself a decent manager. I'm not saying that Deb is not a good manager, but you was begging Deb and trying to be all messy with Deb to get her to manage you or whatever. So, that's messed up if you got your mother that car and she got to make the monthly payments on it. You bought her that car and you going to make the monthly payments on it? Alright. But you know what? It's a good gesture. She was like, my mother sacrificed her life, and my mother sacrificed everything. She gave up everything for her 3 children. She gave it up for you to have this baby by Fetty Wap that is no good, that doesn't have any honor, that doesn't want to be a father, that doesn't want to be there to protect you and the child, and you to be out here on Love and Hip Hop acting a goddamn fool. And just acting like your mother gave up her life for you to do all that. And out of the deal, she gets a Mercedes-Benz, which it depreciates every time she drives it. Come on, miss me with that. And so moving on, like, this shit was this is just bogus. So Bow is cool. And then Bow Wow, you knew Masika did not like your girlfriend, and you kept her around. You kept her in the circle. You kept calling her. You was chilling with her here and there. You saw when Masika was posting about Kiyomi and being shady towards her, and you kept her around. What if Kiyomi had a friend that was dissing you and didn't like you and was posting up about you? You be mad. Like, you put Kiyomi in a lot of situations that you wouldn't want nobody to put you in. So anyways, I'm out. Damn, it's 31 minutes. Peace.